This time, let's talk about Chinese quantifiers. First, we should know cultural characteristics of Chinese quantifiers. There are many quantifiers in Chinese. Chinese quantifiers are very important. Generally, nouns must be combined with number quantifiers to be used. This is one of the characteristics of Chinese, and also the focus and difficulty of learning Chinese. In fact, the generation and the use of Chinese quantifiers are closely related to Chinese culture. It is the embodiment of Chinese culture in Chinese. Understanding the origin and usage of Chinese quantifiers can not only help us use quantifiers correctly, but also help us understand Chinese culture in depth. First, how did quantifiers come from? When we learn and use Chinese quantifiers, we always feel that quantifiers are very complicated and have no rules. In fact, when we understand the origin of quantifiers, we will feel that Chinese quantifiers still have certain rules. Most quantifiers are involved from nouns or verbs, and these quantifiers are closely related to the nouns that modify. For example, the semantics of some quantifiers are related to the external shape of the things expressed by the nouns. Some are related to the relevant actions of the things expressed by the nouns, and some are related to the tools and places that the things represented by the nouns. 1. Quantifiers involved from the external shape of objects. The external shape of an object can usually be directly felt by people's eyes. So people use the external shape of an object to express this noun and classify things. This is a way for Chinese to express things. This type of quantifiers involved from the external shape of objects is the richest and most vivid. For example, the quantifier 根 means tree root when it is a noun. The external characteristics of tree roots are relatively thin and hard, so we use the external characteristics of 根 to describe other things, similar to tree roots. For example, cucumbers and sticks are relatively thin and hard things, so people say 一根黄瓜, a cucumber, 一根筷子, a stick. The original meaning of 条 is twig, and we still sometimes call branches 枝条, twigs. The characteristics of branches are relatively thin and soft. So we often use 条 for relatively thin and soft objects, such as 一条领带, a tie, 一条裤子, a pair of pants, 一条围巾, a scarf. The noun 管 means a tube which is round and long with a hole in the middle. So we often see 一管毛笔, a brush, 一管牙膏, a toothpaste, 一管鞋油, a shoe polish. Because the shapes of brush, toothpaste, and shoe polish are similar to the shapes of tubes. The use of some quantifiers is that Chinese make full use of certain similarities between things, and use quantifiers to present the shapes of things represented by the modified nouns. Such quantifiers include: see so many words. Which of them do you recognize? If we summarize roughly according to the shape, it can be divided into strip, surface, clumping, ring, pile, flower, etc. 1. Strip, such as 条 strip, 根 root, 株 plant, 干 pole, 棵 tree, 枝 branch, 枝 branch, 缕 strand, 线 thread, 丝 silk, 带 ribbon, 管 tube, 骨 strand, 段 section, 道 road, etc. For example, 条 strip, characteristic, thin, long, and soft, used for long strip objects, such as 一条丝巾 a silk scarf, 一条裤子 a pair of pants, 一条河 a river, 根 root, characteristic, thin, long, and hard, used for thin and long objects, such as 一根柱子 a pillar, 一根手杖 a walking stick, 两根黄瓜 two cucumbers. 株 plant, characteristic, thin, long, and plants, many used to measure trees, flowers, and plants, mostly rows with roots, such as 一株草 a grass, 三株小树 three small trees. 干 pole, characteristic, thin, long with a pole, used for objects with a pole, such as 一杆枪 a gun, 一杆秤 a scale. 2. Surface, such as 面 surface, 片 piece, 块 block, 方 square, 汪 flood, etc. For example, 面 surface, characteristic, appearance, and flat, used for flat objects, such as 一面墙 a wall, 一面窗户 a window. 片 piece, characteristic, appearance, thin, and flat, used for objects in pieces. For example, 一片树叶 a leaf, 一片草地 a piece of grass. 块 block, characteristic, appearance, and blocky, used for objects with acreage or value, such as 一块橡皮 an eraser, 一块水田 a paddy field, 一块肥皂 a bar of soap. 3. Clumping, such as 粒 green, 丸 peel, 滴 drop, 星 star, 点 point, etc. For example, 粒 green, characteristic, solid, small, and hard, used for small solid objects, such as 一粒药 a grain of medicine, 一粒米 a grain of rice. 丸 peel, characteristic, solid, round, and soft, often used for Chinese pattern medicine, such as 一丸药 a pill. 滴 drop, characteristic, liquid, water droplet shape, such as 一滴水 a drop of water, 一滴汗 a drop of sweat, 一滴血 a drop of blood. 4. Ring-shaped, such as 轮 wheel, 圈 circle, 弯 bend, 钩 hook, 盘 plate, 洞 or 孔 hole, etc. For example, 轮 wheel, characteristic, wheel-shaped, often used for the sun and the moon, such as 一轮太阳 a sun, 一轮明月 a bright moon. 圈 circle, characteristic, circle-shaped, such as 一圈人 a circle of people. 5. Pile-shaped, such as 堆 pile, 座 seat, 尊 vase, 砣 pile, 垛 stack. For example, 堆 pile, characteristic, a gathering of many objects or people, such as 一堆土 a pile of soil, 一堆垃圾 a pile of garbage, 一堆人 a pile of people. 座 seat, characteristic, a solid building, such as 一座桥 a bridge, 一座建筑 a building. The quantifiers in these semantics fields are almost all transformed from nouns. When these quantifiers are combined with nouns, they often emphasize the appearance of things and enhance the imaging characteristics of things. 2. Quantifiers developed from objects and spaces that carry or contain things. When we say 一台话剧 a play, 一堂课 a class, or 一桌菜 a table of dishes, it is because 话剧 play is performed on 台 stage. 课 class is held in 课堂 classroom, and 菜 dish is placed on 桌 table. This is to use the object or space that holds things as a quantifier, and the commonly used ones are 堂 hall, 台 table, 桌 table, 身 body, 床 bed, 席 seat. For example, 一桌酒宴 a table of wine, 一身衣服 a set of clothes, 一席话 a conversation. 席 is an extended meaning. 3. Quantifiers developed from containers for holding things. This type of quantifiers mostly focus on the semantics relationships between the things represented by the noun and the utensils represented by the quantifier. For example, we say 一瓢豆 a ladle of beans, 一盆豆 a basin of beans, 一桶豆 a bucket of beans. Using 瓢 ladle to hold is called 一瓢豆 a ladle of beans. Using 盆 basin to hold is called 一盆豆 a basin of beans. And using 桶 bucket to hold is called 一桶豆 a bucket of beans. Commonly used ones are 杯 cup, 碟 saucer, 盘 plate, 碗 bowl, 盆 basin, 勺子 spoon, 锅 pot, 瓶 bottle, 桶 bucket, 罐 can, dough, bag, 筐 basket, 篮 basket, 笼 cage, 抽屉 drawer, 柜子 cabinet, 车 car, 船 boat, 飞机 plane, 房 house, 楼 building. In Chinese, all nouns that represent containers can generally be used as quantifiers. So this type of quantifier is open and difficult to list one by one. 4. Quantifiers developed from the tools that things rely on. Use the tools that things rely on as quantifiers. Common ones include 刀 knife, 笔 pen, 铁 post, 手 hand. For example, 一刀纸 a knife of paper, 一刀肉 a knife of meat, 一笔债 a date, 一笔字 a stroke of words, 一手绝活 a unique skill, 一贴膏药 a plaster. 刀 knife is used as a quantifier for paper and meat because paper and meat are both divided with a knife. 笔 pen is used as a quantifier for debt and words because debt and words are written with a pen. 手 hand is used as a quantifier for unique skill because unique skill are expressed with a hand. 5. Quantifiers based on the place where things are attached. This type of quantifier is based on the place where the things are attached. The combination of nouns and this type of quantifier mostly depends on whether the things represented by the noun has an attachment relationship with the place represented by the quantifier. Liquids, paste, and dust all have the property of adhesion, and they often adhere to other objects, so we often see 一墙泥 a wall of mud, 一地水 a floor of water, 一头灰尘 a head of dust, and 两手血 two hands of blood. There are also things that grow and depend on other objects, such as 草 grass, 麻字 pock marks, 牙齿 teeth. So we can see 一地草 a floor of grass, 一脸麻字 a face of pock marks, 一口黄牙 a mouth of yellow teeth, and 一身毛 a body of hair. Abstract things that represent inner temperament and attributes have dependence in people's consciousness, so they can also be combined in this way, such as 一身正气 a body of righteousness, 一脸幸福 a face of happiness. This kind of quantifier is also open. 6. Quantifiers generated according to the relevant actions of things being disposed of. Some quantifiers are developed from the relevant actions of things being disposed of. This kind of quantifier mostly uses the correlation between things and actions, such as 卷 roll, which was originally a verb meaning to roll an object into a cylindrical shape. Later, the object into a cylindrical shape used 卷 as a quantifier, which vividly reflects the process of the objects being disposed of, such as 一卷纸 a roll of paper, 一卷钱 a roll of money, and 一卷行李 a roll of luggage. Such quantifiers include 把 hold, 搓 pinch, 捧 hold, 捆 bundle, 抱 embrace, 包 wrap, 卷 roll, 封 seal, 束 bundle, 兜 bag, 单 carry, 招 call, 挑 pick, 挂 hang, 串 string, 摊 spread, 折 fold, 踏 stack, 结 cut, 服 serve, 贴 past, 发 send, etc. The above words were originally verbs, but they are often used as actions to deal with the things represented by nouns. So they have become quantifiers. For example, 把 hold characteristic, part of the handy, to hold things with one hand, used for the things that can be held by hand, such as 一把刀 a knife, 一把钥匙 a key, 一把伞 an umbrella, 一把壶 a pot, 一把刷子 a brush, 一把勺子 a spoon, 一把椅子 a chair. 搓 pinch characteristic, gather to take with fingers or tools, mostly used for granular things that are pinched by hand or shoved by tools, such as 一撮米 a pinch of rice, 一撮盐 a pinch of salt. 捧 hold characteristic, hold with both hand, used for things that can be taken by both hand, such as 一捧黄土 a handful of loess, 一捧红枣 a handful of red dates. 捆 bundle characteristic, tie with rope, used for things that can be tied, such as 一捆草 a bundle of grass, 一捆韭菜 a bundle of leeks, 一捆报纸 a bundle of newspapers. 封 envelope characteristic, closed with a cover, used for something with an envelope, such as 一封信 a letter, 一封电报 a telegram. This type of quantifiers is almost always transformed from verbs, with the action itself as a reference, and the focus is on the process of the action. Next time, I will talk about the role of Chinese quantifiers in expression and the use of Chinese quantifiers.